Winnie the Pooh's Pandemic. Welcome to episode 48 of the Quiet Man series. What on earth is Winnie the Pooh's Pandemic? Well, I'm sure you remember March 2020 when the world shut down and we had a pandemic. Initially, it was called Chinese flu, and then it became known as COVID. In that lockdown, there was a lot of mischief making going on, wasn't there? One of the memes that came through that really tickled me was a meme of the Chinese emperor and President Obama walking along. And they likened the Chinese emperor to Winnie the Pooh because he had this big fat belly with his belt round the middle. And it looked like Tigger and Winnie the Pooh. And a consequence of that, Winnie the Pooh was banned in China. And I thought, I can't believe that. So I nicknamed the Chinese emperor Jinping Pooh. And then in the midst of the pandemic, suddenly I had a tune rattling around in my head. Jinping Pooh gave us all the flu. What shall we do? Stuck in a stew with Jinping flu, Jinping flu. And a friend of mine helped me and we put it to music. We came up with what was called the Jinping Pooh song. All the lyrics in the book, I'm not going to read it out now. Very, very scurrilous, but challenging the construct, taking a tilt at authority. Because what is it about dictators? Dictators, despots, autocrats, theocrats, they should all be mercilessly lampooned, ridiculed, and called to account. Because at the end of the day, they're just dicks with the ultimate sway over the population beneath them. It's like going back to the days of the kings and queens that had ultimate authority. They could do what the heck they wanted. Surely in this day and age we should be beyond that and people should be living freely. Free speech, freedom of faith, free to say what they want. Sadly, too many people in the world live under the sway of these big dicks. The despots, the dictators, the autocrats and the theocrats. So the last chapter was about taking a tilt, challenging the construct. This is the biggest construct of all, isn't it? The belief systems that keep these dicks in power. So my little tilt at authority here is calling it out and calling the emperor and saying the emperor has no clothes. Jinping Pooh. He does look like Winnie the Pooh. It was quite strange, wasn't it, that time, March 2020? Somebody once said to me, if you want to make God laugh, tell her your dreams. Tell her your goals. I had big goals at the beginning of 2020, before the world was turned upside down. And it was essentially a mission to take perfect teams to the world. 12 cities, 12 countries. That is still my overarching goal for perfect teams. I'm looking to find people that want to help me take perfect teams to the world. I'm looking for country partners. I'm looking for country affiliates. I'm looking for country associates. 12 cities, 12 countries, 144 licensees. That's the goal. But in March 2020, boy oh boy, did she laugh when she heard my goal. One of the things that happened as a consequence of that shutdown was you couldn't see anybody for a while, could you? And my father was getting on. He was coming up for 90. We finally, well, to be honest, we broke the rules, but we did celebrate his birthday in June that year. And then there was another family get together in the August. And Chinese actually got my dad, but it wasn't COVID or Chinese flu. He made the cardinal sin of reheating up Chinese takeaway. And he actually got food poisoning, which saw him off, to be honest. So that was a sad thing that year. Bittersweet, I know, but he did have a fine old innings, 90 years old. And I can remember the funeral quite clearly. And my tribute to him was all about the words. He was a man of many words and one heck of a character. And I miss him to this day. So, the lesson for this episode. Take a tilt at the construct once again. Challenge the construct. Call it out. When the emperor has no clothes, say it. Speak it, because an awful lot of other people are thinking it, but you're the brave one that's called it out. People in authority should be ridiculed, lampooned, called to account every time. That's my great philosophy on life. I hope you like this. If you have, give it the thumbs up, share it, comment on it please, challenge the construct and call it out. Thank you very much.